How many of you guys saw the video that Jason Graystone put out last week? The investigative journalism of Jason Graystone at the McDonald's. Cody says, so good here. You know what was shocking, right? It was shocking that many of you thought that that was not the norm. Many of you were shocked to see that. And I'm telling you, that is the norm. I would say that about maybe 40% of traders constantly think like that. A lot higher percentage, but then eventually a lot of them come to a realization that it's not that true, and they kind of shift their mindset. Some of you were probably, I was like that. I thought trading was a get-rich-quick scheme. And then kind of when I got into the trenches, I kind of understood the reality and my mindset shifted. But I would still say about half, maybe 40, 50% of traders never leave that mindset. Yeah, I would say to start, Phil, maybe about 80. But again, I'll give 30% of that, 30% of those are going to kind of shift. They're going to be adults and kind of be like, okay, well, this was stupid to think that way. Right? It's like the person that goes to the casino and at first they get all they have this get rich quick scheme, how they're going to win all this money at the casino, and then they go and they realize that they lost everything, and the next time they go, they're like, okay, well, maybe this isn't the right thing. I'm still going to gamble, but I got to do it in a different way. Versus the person that just keeps losing all their money and just keeps going back. But it was shocking, and I told you guys that we deal with stuff like that on a regular basis. And I had a great comment this morning under a video. I shared a video on TradingView, basically the dollar-yen trade that we talked about in this week's Trading Edge video. And I got this awesome comment from Tarzan 007, right? Tarzan 007. So not only is he a super secret spy working for MI6, but he has also been raised in the wild by gorillas and monkeys. The best of both worlds, guys. The best of both worlds. All right, so here's what Tarzan said, right? Tarzan 007 said this. Tarzan, and here's what I want you to do. I put this on social this morning. I want you guys to see, and you guys will probably get this. I want you guys to tell me where the problem is at in this comment. So it says, Tarzan, he says, Akil, what type of trader are you, man? Your prediction is completely 100% wrong. Again, this is the dollar-yen trade, looking at a potential move back to the previous support and a continuation up, right? Your prediction is completely 100% wrong. I challenge you, man. I don't know why there's question marks at the end of that, but I challenge you. I don't want to discussing more about it. I don't know what that means. Thought I was bad at English, but this guy is worse. But he was raised in the jungle, so, there you go. Just saying that weekly candle rejection from the 61 Fibo plus trend line plus stochastics overbought. Stop loss 112.70, first target 105.70, target 2 101.30. This is my target with my challenge to you. If my prediction goes wrong, you win. I promise I will never trade in my whole life. Just stopped and get out of trading. So if you can understand what that means, right? It took me, I had to read it at least 3-4 times to actually understand what it was. But what are some issues you see with this comment? And I'll give you my clue. It has nothing to do with the actual analysis. Because you guys know I don't, well, yeah. What do you guys see? While I sip on my OJ. Got some orange juice with frozen pineapples as ice cubes. A little slice of lemon in there. Fancy today. Dropped the percentage in body fat over the weekend. Made a wise decision to go for fruit bowl over mozzarella sticks last night while watching King James take his team to the finals once again. Jesus said, no bread. That's the hardest part of my diet. I do the wheat bread. I do the wheat bread. Although there is still something fulfilling, not nutritionally, of course, about a nice soft loaf of white bread. There's no value in it for your body, but the fluffiness is so good. Okay, so here's the problem, right? So it's not the fact that the trader thinks my analysis is wrong, right? Because you can get a room full of 100 traders and probably 50 of them will think my analysis is wrong. That's just how the market works, right? Forex is interesting because there is always a buyer and a seller, right? You guys understand that. Nothing gets bought without something else being sold in Forex. There's always a buyer and a seller. So there's just always going to be differences of opinion in the market. So I don't care about that. One thing that's interesting is the challenge, right? Why are you challenging another trader? Are we trading against each other? This is a complete ego move. I see this with, I'm not going to name any names. I see this with a few large ego, well-known traders on the internet where they get caught up over trading competitions and who can make the bigger rate of return. And basically it's a blank measuring competition. You can fill in the blank, right? So who cares about a challenge? Why can't we both make money? But here's the thing that really got me, right? If my prediction goes wrong and you win, I promise I will never trade for my whole life. So essentially what this trader is saying this. He's saying that his prediction or the market will do what he's saying. Right? Because if he's wrong, he's going to stop trading forever. So the market will do exactly what he's saying, which is essentially the same as, you know, if you have that feeling that if your prediction is wrong, that you're just going to quit trading forever. Is that any different from saying you're at the poker table and saying I'm just going to put all my chips in the middle of the table? Because apparently you're 100% sure that you're going to be right, correct? So why not go all in? I told you, if I ever knew what the market was going to do, guys, I would leverage everything. Houses, cars, kids, you name it. Everything. Yeah, I called Graystone up like, hey, I got a good investment opportunity for you. I know I'm right, a little bit of risk, but I'm right 100%, so you don't have to worry about it. Yeah. Well, think about it. When you know you're right, why wouldn't you? Right? If you know you're right, why wouldn't you put everything at stake? So that's the issue I see here. And here's the thing that this trader doesn't understand about the market. The beauty of trading is even when you're right, you could be wrong. Even when you're wrong, you could be right. Right? You can make money on a bad trade. You can lose money on a great trade. How many of you guys have ever taken the picture perfect trade where everything lines up and you're like, man, this is it, and then it loses? You're still right in your analysis, your prediction. The market just had other intentions. How many of you guys have ever taken a trade where maybe it broke your rules, or you looked at a trade and you're like, there's no way price will reverse from that level. It made a lower low, lower close. And you turn around the next day and boom, it spikes up and you're like, what? Why did that happen? That's the main issue I see with this, is this trader doesn't understand process over outcome. And of course, I said underneath in my typical way, I started off with a thank you for sharing. I felt like adding a little bit more because I was a little bit feisty this morning off of some bad real estate news. So I said, thank you for sharing your opinion. Your comment shows exactly what type of trader you are, and that has nothing to do with your analysis. Thank you for being an example to others. And my guess is that Tarzan is sitting back scratching his monkey brain saying, what does that mean? Is that a compliment or? So I wanted to bring this up because it's cool. I mean, this is the reality of trading, guys. This is why we say stay off of trading forums and chats and stuff like that, because this is what you're going to see. And it's going to make it's going to make you depressed. It's going to make you depressed because people like this, you can't tell them anything. I spoke to a trader the other day after the Graystone video saying, well, Why doesn't Graystone just intervene and tell them how it really is? And I'm like, you'd be surprised on how many traders just don't want to hear it. And we've gotten to the level where we've been teaching and working with traders for so long that we can basically tell who is open to learning and who has a closed mind. It's all the evaluation process. Jason asked those questions for a reason. He didn't just randomly ask those questions. He was going through basically an interview process to see if this guy was worth saving or not. Could he have jumped in at any time and been like, hey, I'm Jason Graystone, Forex trader, Forex trading coach, let me help you? Sure. But that's only beneficial if the guy is at the point where he's ready to hear it. If you're not ready to hear that advice, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to get defensive. Oh, you're calling me an idiot? You're saying I don't know how to trade, right? Boom, shot to your ego. You put up your defense mechanism right away. And then, and then you get angry. You turn into that person where you're in an argument, you're wrong, but you're so dug in that you're just going to keep going. So you got to have the right mindset for that. But good example. Again, this is the mess that we see every day. This is one of the reasons that we've become numb to it, where it's shocking for a lot of you guys because you don't see it from the same perspective, which is good. It means you're locked in with doing what you're doing. But it's the sad truth for trading. It is the sad truth for trading.